Up and running? All right. Well, I have 10:31 a.m., August 7th, so I call this meeting to order. This is the beginning of our budget workshops to set and to work through the 2026 county budget. This is going to look different than in years past. Normally, at this juncture, we would begin going through line by line the proposed budget. That was the intent, to be able to do that as the first order of business. However, it was necessary to push that back a bit. So that exercise will actually occur Tuesday morning. However, given that we had numerous office and departments scheduled to visit with the court, we didn't want to change those. So the order of events this go-around is that today and tomorrow and then Monday afternoon, we will hear from those various offices and departments. And then beginning Tuesday morning, walk through the proposed budget. I anticipate we would be able to wrap that up later in the day on Tuesday. We have printed out for everybody a copy of what the schedule will look like for the remainder of the day. The capital projects discussion that was scheduled to take place now, that was not ready to be presented. So we are going to postpone that, which means our visit right now is going to be much shorter than expected. The rest of the day, for those watching online, for everybody else who doesn't have a schedule in front of them, today's activities will be, we'll hear from the district judges at 1 p.m., pretrial services at 1:30, juvenile at 2, HR at 3, and then animal services at 3:30. We'll then recess and come back at 10:30 tomorrow, where we have 5 presentations. The sheriff's office.
What time tomorrow?
We're going to come back here at 10:30.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Then the first presentation will be the sheriff at 11.
Got you.
JP3 at 1. Constable 3 at 1:30. County Court at Law judges at 2. And then JP2 at 2:30. Monday afternoon, after Commissioners Court in the afternoon, we'll hear from the remaining offices and departments that wanted to visit with us. And then, like I say, Tuesday morning, we will begin going through the proposed budget. I will have a copy of that to each of y'all by tomorrow afternoon to give you a full 3 days to review that in preparation for Tuesday morning. The budget that will be proposed, I think that the court and the community will find it something that we can be proud of. The budget that will be proposed would reduce the current tax rate, lowering it to the no new revenue rate. The court has historically taken a very careful and conservative approach to budgeting, to saving, and to spending, which enables us to encounter difficult times without an increase in taxes, and that's what this coming year will look like. In spite of the plan to adopt a no new revenue rate, there are a lot of challenges that we will overcome and a lot of things that we'll accomplish. One of the biggest things right out of the gate that we had to overcome in putting the 2026 budget together was the 27th pay period, which is occurring next year in 2026. And I remember this, we encountered this the first year I came into office. A dynamic of doing a biweekly pay schedule is that about every 11 years you catch an extra pay period that rolls into the calendar year. Which is something that we have to cover in the budget. One extra paycheck in a calendar year is 3.8%, which is about $1.3 million. So that was an expense we had to cover immediately. And there were a lot of other expenses and cost drivers. I think most of you are aware that the contract for fire EMS with the City of Victoria will be increasing about $600,000 next year. We have numerous other cost drivers that we needed to overcome. But that was and will be a baseline minimum. The budget that we'll go through on Tuesday is very first responder focused, with an effort to keep the first responders in Victoria County, primarily our sheriff's office, to keep them as the most competitive law enforcement agency around. And I believe that the budget we'll look through Tuesday accomplishes that. That and several other notable successes are the things we'll go through Tuesday morning. A lot of that is still being developed, but again, we'll have you a draft of that by the end of the day tomorrow. And so, like I say, this initial visit is shorter than expected. We were planning on engineering to be visiting with us about our project, our capital improvement game plan, but that will be postponed.
Okay.
Throughout the next few days, we'll go into closed session as needed and as we're able to discuss various matters, but pretty much the rest of the afternoon when we come back today is pretty full, as is tomorrow and then Monday afternoon also. I know there's some elements outside the general fund that are still pending. I know Road and Bridge had some tweaking in recent months that we'll need to formalize and finalize, but we'll be concluding that also. The goal is to wrap that up as well by Tuesday afternoon. Any questions on the process or the schedule, process, or game plan here? Okay. In front of each of you is a printed departmental budget of each of the offices and departments that will be visiting with us today. Again, that's a printout of only those that will be visiting with us today. You'll have something similar tomorrow. But then, again, Tuesday is when we'll begin going through the proposed budget in detail, formalizing and finalizing that. A departure from normal, normally that would be on the front end, but out of necessity, that's been tweaked this go-around, and an effort going forward will be to, in all likelihood, drop our current budgeting software vendor and going a different route there. A lot of the work that we had done over the past weeks had to be duplicated. Madison, Chris, Michelle, y'all have done great work there, but things like that happen. We're adapting to it, and so the plan is to be back here at 1 o'clock today.
1 o'clock.
We do have the prerogative and obviously the time to address any item in closed session that would be fitting for closed session. I know we'll be hearing from individual departments that will likely necessitate some closed session discussion afterwards, but is there anything immediately that comes to mind now? Chris? Okay. All right. Well, a brief prelude to what is to come. So we will, at this point, stand in recess and plan to be back here at 1 p.m. this afternoon for a visit with the district court.
Okay.